I'm going to show you how to update a landing page in Kajabi, how to give it a page background image, and then how to use some of the colors from that page background image to add to the page to make it just more visually appealing and make it more on brand. And if you're new here, my name is Susie. My channel, my business is Elevating Expertise. I talk about Kajabi things primarily, but like sales funnels and online business and marketing too. So if you would like and subscribe, and you can share this with anybody who you think might benefit. Okay, so I'm going to make me small over here. So this is a template page that I created in Kajabi, and I just reuse the same page over and over again, like for different clients or different purposes. And it's set up like a home page, and you'll see, I'm just going to scroll down. It's very basic, like just black and white. And then I have these photos, just stock photos that are very neutral. So the idea is that we take this really neutral starting template, and then we can apply any sort of customization to it to make it suit any sort of different type of business. So we have the offers, signature offer. There's tons of white space, obviously here. Coaching, a podcast section, popular episodes. So this is just like all the different things that you might have on a homepage. And they don't all apply to everyone. I've got a blog section, some testimonials, and yeah, so that's what we're starting with. I'm gonna close this. Okay, so here we're in the back end of Kajabi. And so first, what I did in Canva, I created some background images. And these are all 2880 by 1200 pixels. So, because that's what you are supposed to use. So we're starting with this one, page one. And I just wanted to make kind of like a fun, playful, if this was like a website or stuff about kids or I don't know, just fun and playful. That was my goal here. So I'm going to download this page one. I'm going to download it as a JPEG file because that's a smaller file size than a PNG, which will help with your page load speed. So whenever possible, you want to use a JPEG. Okay, so I downloaded it, and now I'm going to go into Kajabi. I have sections here and settings. I'm going to toggle over to settings and then style guide. And I want this, use background image. So when I do it in settings, you also have the option of adding images, background images to individual page sections. But when we do it in settings, it's going to apply to the entire page. So we're going to use background image and then select upload that background image and then save. Okay, so here, if we preview this page, as you scroll down the page, that background image is going to stay in place. And everything that you have, the text and images and everything are just going to scroll over it. So that just right away, it's going to make the whole page feel really cohesive and like one page instead of, individual like blocky kind of page sections, which is often what happens when you're trying to design in Kajabi. But we're not done yet. Go back here. And one thing that you'll notice is that these colors, like the way that I set up this image, is that the graphics are only on the sides. And then we have this copy is in the middle of the page. So like if we scroll over it, there's a little bit like down here at the bottom that's gonna like roll up over that teal color. But most of the text is centered in the middle. Most of the stuff that you actually have to read is centered in the middle. And I did that because because I don't want the text to go over like these darker colors and just be harder to read. So one thing to keep in mind, every Kajabi page is 12 columns wide. So if we go into sections, and I'm going to go to the hero section, this is the first section of the page is the hero section, and the text block, this here, is 8 columns wide. So I use 8 columns here, and then like further down, this text block is, 5 columns, and this image block is 4 columns. So it's 9 columns total. So by doing that, we keep the text and the graphics in the middle of the page and kind of give it those margins on the side, which make it easier to read because you're not like typewritering your eyes across the entire page, and 2, make it easier to read because that text is going to be on top of a white background instead of like scrolling over those darker colors. And I think it looks cleaner and more kind of high end when you have a lot of negative space being a solid color, like solid white or solid black. It doesn't matter what it is, but just a solid color. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is I want to use these colors. I have these 4 colors here. It's like coral, yellow, light teal, dark teal. Okay, we'll call this seafoam and then teal. I want to use these 4 colors on my page in a few other places. So I'm going to go to settings in the bottom left-hand corner and then site details. And then scroll down to color. So these are the default, that's the default color palette that my Kajabi account comes loaded with. I want to change these colors, or 4 of them, to the hex codes for those colors this image that I got from Canva. I'm going to click on that coral color. I want to know what the hex code is, where it says document colors. If I click there might be a quicker way to do this, but I actually don't know what it is. So I'm going to copy that hex code and then go back to Kajabi, my settings, and update this color palette. Oops, this color palette. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the same thing with the other 3 colors. I'm also going to add white and black, just because I know that I'm going to want those 2. White and black. And then remember to hit save. Okay, so now when I go back to this page, I'm going to refresh it. And so let's say, I want to change the color of this call to action button. I'm going to click in to my text block because the call to action button is within this text block. This one is change my button background color, right? Because I updated those colors so that that coral color is more easily available now. So you can do the same thing. I would go through the whole page, first of all, and just update everywhere where there's a call to action button. I'm going to update it to coral. But I also want to update this color in a few places. Maybe just some like kind of eye grabbers like that dark one. Let's try put it there and there. Get started. Okay, so all our buttons are updated. That was tedious. But there's no way to just automatically update them all, unfortunately. So now I want to look at this page, and I want to add some colored blocks behind some of these sections. So yeah, and since I kind of gave the coral color I assigned to be my button color, so I don't want to use that one for a background. So I'm in this text block, and in the left-hand panel, I'm going to go down to background. We'll give it a block background color. So that the block is this text block. So I'm going to give maybe this, my seafoam color, we'll put behind there. And then I want a little bit more spacing. I want some more padding around it so that the button doesn't go all the way to the edge. So we'll go to desktop layout, and then, there was already inside spacing on the left. So now I'm gonna put that seafoam color in a couple other places. I don't know where yet. I'll figure it out. Okay. I'm going to put that seafoam color behind this entire background section, not just that text block. So here it says background media type none, which actually I had this other image in there before, but I'm going to go down to background color and change to seafoam. So that's this entire section. So it blocks out that background, the graphics that are in the page background, but then, you can see them in the section above and below. I think that looks good. Okay, what else can we do? Oh, yeah, black isn't a good choice for this. So let's remove color, and then we'll have to change the text to black. Oops. You know what we could do here is put a border color around it. Let's try that. So I'm going to go in background border type. I'm going to change from none to solid. So it has this black line around it, but I want the border color to be yellow, goldenrod. Okay, let's make this a little bit bigger, 12. Okay, so now we're using that border color, that border, and tying in that color that's in the background. So we can do the same thing here. I kind of want to intersperse the yellow and the seafoam. Let's go up here. Okay. We'll make this border type, same thing, solid. Border width is 12, and our border color is yellow, goldenrod. I would call that color goldenrod. Okay. And you can make the background of this text color white if you, like I see that it goes over the seafoam here, which I'm okay with, but you can make that white. So here, I'm going to save this and we're going to refresh this page. So now when we're looking at this page, when we're just scrolling down, because you kind of want to just like scroll through the whole thing to get a feel for it. And we have this background graphic that's kind of fun and playful, and then we're incorporating those colors throughout the page. So they are like it's all tied together. It all kind of makes sense together. What doesn't make sense is these photos, which is fine. I'm not going to deal with that in this video, but this is just like a real quick and pretty easy way to make a page feel like it has a personality. And you can use the same thing, like use that same background image for other pages on your site and do the same thing, apply those same color blocks to the background or to your borders. I would keep it consistent. I always say that you want to give every one of your brand colors should have an assignment. So your primary colors, secondary, your accent colors. So I've established that this coral color is my accent color on this page. So I want to keep that consistent on all the pages of my website. So it's just going to look like it all goes together, which we're trying to do. Another thing that you could do if you get tired of this specific background image is, let's go into Canva. Let's duplicate this page, and then you can just kind of move these around, maybe like change that coral to this one and move it over here and then change this. And I just searched for abstract images in Canva. That's how I came up with these elements. So yeah, you can just kind of play around with it to give it, to make it look different if you're bored with what you're doing, but still make it feel like it all is part of the same brand. Right, so then you can just do the same thing, download this background image and use it on a different page of your site. So, and I'm going to show you in the next video or the next couple of videos, because I created these different background images. I'll show you that we're calling this like the fun, playful one. And then this one to me looks like cybersecurity. This one's kind of more feminine. And then this one's just really neutral. So I'm going to show you how just adding those background images and then pulling some colors from those images can just change the vibe of a page really easily.